Okay, so today we're going to talk about the floor launcher. Now, this is a wonderful, wonderful trap. This thing is exactly identical to the wall launcher, except that rather than shooting your enemies back and away, you can shoot your enemies straight up in the air. Now, this can be used for a variety of different effects, and we'll cover those in a few. So we're going to go and talk about the perks, because the perks are very important, and the perks for this trap really change the way that this trap actually plays out, functions, and is used. Because currently in its current form, there is two ways to use this trap. The first is the way that I use it. That is to go with double reload, the same as if I were to use a wall launcher. Double reload makes sure that this has a 4.3 second reload time, so it refreshes itself very quickly, which is very important because you want to make sure that this thing is always, is ready as often as you can, because anytime an enemy is walking over this thing, you want to get them away real fast. You want to make sure it fires as often as possible. So this is my favorite loadout for this, is double reload, triple knockback, and durability. Durability to give it as many charges as possible. Even with durability, you are going to find that this trap in the hotspot locations is going to run out of charges, and you will have to replace it most of the time. The other strategy for this trap, for perks, is to go with no reload at all. Now, the advantage to going with no reload at all is that when an enemy walks over this trap, it will fire the enemy 7 tiles straight up in the air. Now, this is a big deal because the enemy will actually go so high that 7 tiles is enough to deliver fall damage. Now, fall damage is very noteworthy because it is percentage based. Whenever you take fall damage, it is based on percentage, based on how high you fell. So with this trap here, it will basically kill an enemy, I believe, in 3 hits. Even a smasher. If a smasher steps on 3 of these traps, it's dead no matter what power level it is. If it gets thrown up in the air, it's game over. Like two or three knockups will be enough to execute any enemy. So pretty nuts. This trap was heavily used in Fortnite by some of the players who created a meta strategy revolving entirely around this trap, just this trap, where they would basically just lean on this completely, like 100%. They put up an exterior defense to kill all the little baby enemies, and then any enemy like a husky or a smasher, anything bigger than a husk, would get destroyed by the knockup. So it's actually an incredibly potent strategy. Now, I have been a long time proponent for having the fall damage removed. I think that it is super cheesy, and it is not well designed. You shouldn't be able to kill anything, regardless of power level, with a knockup trap. I think that's nonsense, but it exists, and this, it works. So if you want to use it, currently it will work. You can use this with insane effect to clear literally anything. Smashers will get destroyed by the all 5 knockup. So moving on, it's a crazy strategy. Try it out. It's definitely fun. I like to build the popcorn base, where you just like watch the enemies pop up in the air like popcorn, and then they hit the ground and splat, and it's pretty funny. So but we're going to go back to my favorite strategy, which is the double reload. Now, the double reload is exactly like the wall launcher, except that to utilize this properly, you want to put an angle in front of the wall that you're protecting. So normally a wall launcher, you just put the wall up, put the wall launcher on it, enemy walks up, gets knocked back. Well, for this one here, what you do is you take the wall, you put an angled wall in front of it, put the wall launch, or the wall floor launcher underneath, and when the enemy walks on top of it, it will shoot them into the angle, and the angle will knock them flying backwards, up and back. Very effective strategy. Now, the advantage to using this over a wall launcher is that this one will give you double protection on the walls. So rather than having one wall protecting your base, you actually have one wall and an angled floor. So you essentially have double walls. Now the downside is that you can't use gas, because that angled floor will be covering up the gas trap, preventing you from getting damage on that square. But that debatedly doesn't matter, because the enemies will walk in, they'll get knocked, and then you can throw them back into your gas and your timeout chamber and do a pile of damage. So it doesn't usually matter. So it is a very, very sturdy, very secure strategy, highly effective. And if by chance they happen to break through, destroy your ramp, there's a wall sitting behind that ramp, and you can even have a wall launcher on there. So they walk through, they get knocked back, you know, more enemies rush in and smash and break the wall before the floor launcher can knock them back again, and then they get knocked back by the wall launcher. So you can have like a double knockback effect. Insanely effective. Not to mention, once they break that wall, if you have a gas trap on there, it will trigger as soon as that ramp breaks, hitting the enemies, killing them, knocking them back with the wall launcher, and you get like a huge combo effect of protection. So very, very effective. Now, another thing to note is that there are a few traps that can actually shoot through angled floors, which can synergize very well with the floor launcher. Traps such as the wall darts. The wall darts can actually shoot through an angled ramp, making them an option. I don't really like this option, but it is an option. You can put the wall darts behind the ramp, shoot through the ramp, and then have this protection in front. So you're essentially shooting through your own protection. The other trap that can shoot through those angles is the ceiling zapper. The ceiling zapper has the ability to shoot down through an angle. So the enemies come up, they get knocked back, they walk in again, and the zapper can actually hit them right through that angle. So you have ways of actually protecting with a wall and a floor, and then shooting through the wall at the same time while protected with a floor launcher. So it's a crazy strategy. Like there is some insanely like detailed, you know, combo play that you can use in combination with the floor launchers. It's a nasty build. One of my favorite ways of utilizing this one, the one that I utilize the most, is with the atlases. I find the floor launcher to be by far the best defense for an atlas mission, because the atlas mission doesn't allow you to build flat walls within a 3x3 radius of the building. You can, however, build angles, which you'll see a lot of people create pyramids. Well, you can also create an inverted pyramid. So instead of having the atlas covered, you can actually have the atlas have ramps going outwards. So you can't have a wall behind that ramp, but you can have a ramp with a floor launcher underneath, shooting the enemies out into a timeout chamber, doing a pile of damage. So there's some excellent floor launcher synergy and strategy that is, uniquely usable in only a way that it can do. So it's not just a replacement, but it is actually, there are situations where it is the only trap that is actually viable to create an actual trap defense. So very, very cool trap, very unique. I highly recommend getting it maxed out as fast as possible, because this one it's a doozy. Whether you're going to go with the popcorn strategy or just go with your, solid, reliable double reload, hardcore base defense, this is a absolutely wonderful, supremely effective trap that you want to have in your arsenal as fast as possible. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having my back. Make sure that you like and subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and comment down below if you want me to do any other trap videos or any other content. Just let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the video, and let me know what else you want me to cover. I'll catch you guys next time.